Good morning, dear students. In the last session or in the last class, we saw or we have started the very important chemistry, that is organic chemistry. So, in organic chemistry, we came across with its definition, and then what are the compounds should call as a organic or valency of carbon, and then electronic configuration, and finally we have saw some unique character of carbon. But in this session or in this video, we will continue the same thing. That means in organic compounds there are three type of compounds we see, right? I mean, two types of compounds. Saturated, already you have studied. These hydrocarbons are categorized into saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So I am using the word hydrocarbon. That means why? Because in organic compounds we more oftenly see the carbon and hydrogen. That's why hydrocarbon we call them as hydrocarbons in short. So now in today's class we see these two in detail, right? So these hydrocarbons, that means the organic compounds are mainly divided into or categorized into two types. Those are saturated and unsaturated. What are saturated hydrocarbons? What are unsaturated hydrocarbons? What is the reason why we call some of the organic compound into saturated and some of the organic compound into unsaturated compounds? We all see in this today's class. Let us start with yesterday's points only, right? So here in organic chemistry, the main core element is, we all know, that is carbon. So if any compound or any matter or any things, if they consist of carbon, then those compounds or things are called as organic, right? So now this carbon shows different characters. In last videos you might have seen this, right? So carbon with single bond, carbon with double bond, and carbon with triple bond. So now today we are going to see all these things, and that means one we can say the other property or the other character of the carbon atom, which is present in the organic compounds. So now first we will take a saturated carbon atoms. I mean hydrocarbons. So what are saturated, what are unsaturated, and how many number of bonds present in saturated and unsaturation compounds? We will see everything in detail. So saturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons are the class of organic chemistry. Here, see what I said. Organic is nothing but the core point or the core element is carbon. Now, so because there is a carbon in every organic compound, so that's why our main intention should study about the carbon. If what are saturated hydrocarbons? That means if in between carbon and carbon, very important, if in between carbon and carbon a single bond is present, right? I will write completely CH3, CH3. Right? So in between carbon and carbon, if single bond is present, then those organic compound or hydrocarbons are called as saturated hydrocarbons. Very simple. These are the organic compounds having in between carbon and carbon there is a single bond. If the single bond is present in between carbon and carbon, then those type of organic compounds are called saturated hydrocarbons. And in saturated hydrocarbon, everywhere we see carbon with hydrogen or carbon with carbon, like carbon with carbon or carbon with a hydrogen bond are always be single only. If only single bonds are present, then that bond will be always sigma bond, right? In the last classes, I mean in sigma and pi bond class, we saw so, what are the sigma and pi bonds. So that means saturated hydrocarbons are a type of hydrocarbons in which in between carbon and carbon the single bond is present. Next, these saturated hydrocarbons, right? So these saturated hydrocarbons are less reactive. Next, very important point, less reactive. Second point is these saturated hydrocarbons are less reactive. Why these saturated carbons are less reactive? We will see now. See, the name itself indicates saturated. Saturated means complete. That means these carbon, right? In the yesterday's video, what we saw in between, yeah, the valency of carbon is 4. So that means if I write this compound or this molecule of ethane with open structure, then it looks like this. H, there are 3 H with this carbon, so therefore 3 H, 1, 2, 3, 3. And likewise same with this carbon, there are 3 hydrogens, so that's why here also CH3. Now forget about this carbon, just you see this carbon, right? So now after seeing this carbon, one we can decide the valency is completely filled. If the valency of carbon, and for this carbon also the same case, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means how much number of electrons required this carbon from other elements it has got. Already it has got those number of carbon atoms, electrons from what? Where? From where? From the hydrogen. So after getting the 3 electron from the hydrogen and 1 electron from this carbon, I am talking about this carbon, after taking 3 electrons from these hydrogens and 1 electron from the other side carbon atom, the valency is satisfied for this carbon atom. In the same way, same way, one we can explain about this carbon also. Now the carbon atom cells and orbits are fulfilled. Once the sub orbits are fulfilled, that means how many number of electron it requires it got, means that means it now it never required electron, or it is not in a state to accept the electron. I mean it it is in very stable state. So that's why now it will undergo into the reaction, no doubt. If we apply more amount of energy, then definitely it will undergo into the reaction. But the thing is, they are less reactive. That means they are reactive. They undergo into the reaction, no doubt. But because of presence of so many sigma bonds, to break those bonds, it will be very typical. Why? Because in yesterday's class only, what we discussed, these sigma bonds are very strong bonds. Why? Because the extension of overlapping in the sigma bond is more as compared to the pi bond. So that's why the saturated hydrocarbons are almost less reactive. They very rarely they undergo into the reaction, because because of this reason. Why? Because the valency is completely filled, right? So this is the case of saturated hydrocarbons. So these saturated hydrocarbons, we can see number of examples of saturated hydrocarbons. So like CH3, CH3, sorry, CH2, CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, 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 CH3. Like these are all the examples. I'm not giving any IPS in nomenclature. Why? Because we still require a 1 class for IPS in nomenclature. Then thereafter, when you can name these compounds during that time, we will again go with this type of examples. So this is about saturated hydrocarbons. Right? So coming to or moving to the second type, second type of hydrocarbon, that is unsaturated hydrocarbon. Unsaturated hydrocarbons. So in unsaturated hydrocarbon, we see two type of unsaturation, right? So one is double bonded unsaturation, right? And other one is triple bonded unsaturation. These are the alkenes and these are the alkynes. And saturated hydrocarbons are alkanes. That means alkene, if in between carbon and carbon there is a presence of double bond, then those hydrocarbons are called as alkenes. Or if the three bonds are present in between the carbon and carbon, then such hydrocarbons are called as alkynes. And what about saturated? Saturated hydrocarbons are nothing but alkanes, one we can say. So I will write here, these are called alkenes and these are called alkynes. In 10th already you have studied this in SSLC, right? So in unsaturated hydrocarbons, we see or we come across with two type of hydrocarbons. One is unsaturated, one is unsaturation with double bond, and other one is unsaturation with triple bond. Unsaturation with double bond is called as alkene, and unsaturation with triple bond is called as alkyne, right? So now we will see first alkene, right? So in unsaturation, we see alkene. Alkene means carbon with double bond. Carbon with double bond. So these are the unsaturated hydrocarbons in which if in between carbon and carbon, if double bond is present, then such hydrocarbons are called as alkenes or unsaturated hydrocarbons. Right? I repeat, if in between carbon and carbon there is a presence of double bond, then those type of hydrocarbons are called as alkene or unsaturated hydrocarbons. Okay. So you will write complete structure of this C and C. Now see. First you look at this carbon atom. To this carbon atom, how many bonds are present? 2. That means what is the valency of carbon? 4. That means how many hydrogen we require with this carbon? 2. Right? That means I will write completely H and H. Coming to this carbon, it is also same case like this. Now there are 2 bonds. That means to complete its valency, again we require 2 bonds. That means 2 hydrogen we should react Then now the complete structure of the alkene or double bonded unsaturation. So now in the last sigma and pi bond class, what we saw is if in case two bonds are present in between any two elements, then one will be always pi bond and the other one will be always sigma bond. So therefore here one is pi bond and one is sigma bond, right? So pi and sigma bond we see in case of unsaturation or unsaturated compound like in alkene, right? But in alkane we see only what sigma type of bond. So now what about its reactivity? So reactivity, if we compare this alkene reactivity with the alkane reactivity, these alkenes are more reactive. If I compare alkane compound with this alkene, definitely these compounds are more reactive. Why? Why? Because there is a presence of pi bond, and what I said, pi bonds are weak bonds, and these are very easily removed, or very easily we can break these type of pi bonds. So that's why if breaking is takes place in the chemical very easily in any chemical, if the breaking is takes place easily in any chemical, then definitely it will get charged. That is very important. Either it may be a positive charge or it may be a negative charge. So that's why these pi, because of presence of pi bond, the alkenes are more reactive as compared to the alkenes are more reactive as compared to the alkanes. This is about the unsaturation of type what? Double bonded, that is alkenes. Okay, clear? So now coming to the last type, that means unsaturated, like unsaturation is one more type, that is alkyne, right? Alkyne means carbon carbon triple bond. So this is also one type of unsaturation with triple bond. Now alkene is nothing but double bonded unsaturation, but alkyne is nothing but triple bonded unsaturation. So what about this compound? Alkyne is again a unsaturated hydrocarbon. Now see, with respect to this carbon, see the bonds around that carbon atom. How many bonds? 3. That means to complete its valency, how many bond again still it requires? 1. So thus with this carbon, 1 hydrogen will be present. The same term or same condition you will apply here. Why? Because these are same only. Again, with respect to this carbon, there are 3 bond around it. Now, because of 3 bond, one more bond will be required to complete its valency. So that's why in alkyne, each carbon atom has 1 hydrogen around it. Now, this is the first case. Whenever there is a presence of 3 bond in between any two elements, then definitely according to the rule sigma and pi bond, one we can say one will be sigma and rest two will be what? Pi bonds. Very important. One will be always a sigma and other rest two will be pi. If you consider this as a sigma or this as sigma, no problem. And rest two are pi, right? So according to rule only we are going. Alkynes are nothing but unsaturated compounds with the triple bond, right? And now in unsaturation, if 3 bonds are present, then definitely one will be sigma and other rest two will be will be pi bonds, right? So what about its reactivity? They are very reactive as compared to alkane and alkyne. Why? Because the weak bonds like pi bonds are more here. There are 2 pi bonds are present. So that's why these alkynes are more reactive. if we compare other saturated always as well as unsaturation of like alkene, if I compare alkane, alkene and alkyne, among these three, alkynes are more reactive. Why? Because in alkyne we see two pi bonds. Because of presence of two pi bonds, now pi bonds are, we already know pi bonds are weak bonds and they can break very easily. So because of breaking is very easy, so that's why what happens, this molecule will readily undergo into the reaction, right? So now after seeing all these three type of hydrocarbons, now one we can say alkanes are very important. This part is less reactive than, sorry, less reactive than alkene, and alkenes are less reactive than the alkynes. Means alkane is less reactive as compared to the alkene, and alkene is less reactive as compared to the alkynes. That means directly one more form we can write this this format. Alkynes are more reactive than alkene, and alkene is more reactive than the alkane. Right? So this is the reactivity order. So alkanes are less reactive as compared to the alkene, or alkenes are less reactive as compared to the alkynes. Why? Because the reason is, we all know the reason is here the compound is very much stable. Why? Because all the bonds, and that means the valency is filled with single bonds. That is very important. And all the bonds present in the alkane are always having a single bond. But coming to alkene, this is not the same case as we saw in the alkane. Here we see double bond. So because of presence of double bond, one bond will become pi bond and other will be sigma bond. So that's why because of presence of pi bonds are less, are weak bond as compared to the sigma bonds. So that's why here the molecule can very easily undergo into the breakdown. Once if it undergo into the breakdown, then definitely the reaction, it will move towards the reaction very fast. Now, as compared to the alkene, if we move to the alkyne, so in alkyne, the number of pi bonds, that means the weak bonds are more. So that's why these alkynes are more reactive in all the hydrocarbons. That means among these three hydrocarbons, alkynes are more and more reactive, right? So this is all. This is about, you already studied in your lower classes. Why I took this topic means, we have to, before going for the naming, we must and should know these things. And again, once again, these organic compounds are divided into three types. I mean, you already know alkanes. That means to the alkane directly one we can say these are the saturated. Right? That's why I directly said those compounds as saturated hydrocarbons. And one more is alkene. It is unsaturation with carbon-carbon double, right? And next one is alkyne. And these alkynes are again unsaturated compounds with carbon-carbon triple bond. Very important. See, during during the IUPAC nomenclature, again I will explain these terms once again. That means we take suffixes over here from these compounds. That means for saturated compounds we take ANE, for unsaturated compound we take ENE, and for Unsaturation with double bond. If double bond is present, if the given compound is having double bond, then such compounds are called as unsaturated compound, of course. But we, for those type of compounds, what we take as a suffix ene. But in case of unsaturation with triple bond, we take yne for the naming of the organic compounds. So students, this is all about today's class. In the next class we will have the continuation part of this. Thank you.